Hello, horror fans, and welcome back to Dead by Daylight. In this episode, we're going to cover one of the two new survivors that have come out in the PTB Tools of Torment in Thalita Lyra. So we're going to look into her story, her perks, and her add-ons. Thalita Lyra backstory. If you were to ask, Thalita Lyra would tell you that what she wanted in life more than anything was to bring people together. Whether it was her father selling out clubs for the latest Foro band he signed, or her mother showing off Botafogo, Lapa, and Ipanema to groups of tourists from around the world. I do apologize for my horrible translation, or my pronunciation. Thalita loved seeing people come together to share their passion and form meaningful connections. As a teenager, Thalita found her community through kite fighting. Her uncle, Ignacio, taught Thalita and her younger brother, Renato, to settle their petty squabbles through making kites and flying them into each other until one string is cut and the winner is decided. Thalita and Renato would spend their summers at Ignacio's beachfront kite shop, working in the mornings and fighting kites in the afternoon. Their antics caught the attention of kids and adults alike, and it wasn't long before Thalita started teaching kite fighting at the shop. Eager to connect with even more people, Thalita would film these fights and post them online. Free publicity, she told her uncle. Little did Thalita know that her kite fighting videos would be her ticket to stardom. Videos that featured her and her commentary would get more hits, with viewers commenting on Thalita's kite fighting insights and her charm. The videos even caught the eye of a modeling agent. Before she knew it, Thalita was booking photo shoots for print ads and appearing in commercials. She loved the work and knew it wouldn't be long before she could transition to acting. Then she would be capital F famous, like the stars of telenovelas she watched growing up. Her community would span all of Brazil and maybe even beyond. But it was not to be. Little by little, modeling took Thalita further from the kite shop. First she had to give up playing to let the nicks on her hands heal. Then she had to spend her days networking, schmoozing, and lining up gigs well in advance. By the time Thalita graduated high school, her agent was eager to get her even more work, which meant even less time at the kite shop. All this hard work and dedication will be worth it, she told herself. Years passed in a flurry. Thalita was burned out and sick of the awkward stares and lingering glances from strangers. Fame, it seemed, was not as glamorous as she thought it would be. Late nights talking with Renato helped her realize what she was missing: connection. Genuine connection with like-minded people. That is how her father and mother drew people to them, and kite fighting was what connected Thalita with others. Within a few short months, Thalita had quit modeling, used her money to open her own shop, with Ignacio's blessing, of course, and brought Renato on as her business partner. Fun Kites Rio became the premier destination for kite fighting materials, and Thalita's fame helped attract even more people to the hobby. It was a great start, but Thalita, as always, wanted to reach even more people. Fun Kites Rio's first tournament was a success, drawing hundreds of participants to the outskirts of Rio to watch dozens upon dozens of kites danced in the sky. In between socializing with old and new friends, helping at the concession stands, and even playing a match or two, Thalita found a few moments to cry happy tears by herself. She had done it. This was exactly the community she wanted to create. By the time the sun set and the tournament came to a close, the field was covered in litter. Thalita and Renato stayed behind to clean up. The full moon was high in the sky when Renato noticed something: a strange drone floating over the field. Thalita's mischievous childhood self came roaring back. Time for a challenge, a race to take down the drone. Renato couldn't help but accept. In the end, Thalita's kite was the one to get caught in the drone's rotor blades. She cheered as Renato watched the thing sputter into the forest, leaving a trail of smoke in its wake. Thalita didn't want to look for the fallen drone. She was happy to leave her kite behind, but Renato walked off to the trees on his own, and Thalita couldn't let her brother wander the dark forest by himself. Deep in the woods, Renato found more than just a drone. Thalita heard a scream and watched as a man drenched in blood emerged from the forest. He grabbed her brother, desperate for help, but it was already too late. Thalita nearly screamed as the man split in two, and a woman stepped forward, covered in high-tech hunting gear. Why wasn't Renato moving? She grabbed her brother and ran. Another drone floated overhead, like the one she had downed with her kite. They were the hunter's eyes, and she had plucked one of them from the sky. Renato was in shock, and Thalita saw that his arm had been cut deeply. When? It didn't matter. He was bleeding, and they needed to get to safety. That was when she saw the factory, a rotting big brick building collapsing under the weight of time. Thalita led Renato into the factory and found a dark alcove to hide. The hunter followed, and she dragged some wooden beams across the entrance. The only way out blocked off. Thalita knew time was running out. If the hunter didn't find them first, her drone would. Thalita peeked from their alcove, and the factory was changing, its dark and dingy walls dissolving to a bright, sunny landscape. A beach. She found her resolve, a way out, a chance to survive. All she had to do was run. Thalita put her arm around Renato and pulled him to his feet. She thought she heard Renato telling her to stop, but she ignored him. This was their chance. They ran along the beach, leaving the hunter behind, kicking up warm sand with each stride. Thalita never stopped running, not even when the sand turned into swirling black fog. So there's Thalita's story. We'll read Renato's story in the next episode, but let's go ahead and check out her perks while we're here. So we have friendly competition. You revel in the community spirit of a competition and inspire others to follow suit. Whenever you finish repairing a generator with at least one other survivor, this perk activates. You and other survivors who finish repairing the generator with you get a 5% increased repair progress speed for 75 seconds. That could come in handy, though the 75 seconds probably will not last too long, considering you have to go find another generator, but who knows, could be alright. Teamwork, power of 2. It's hard to keep up with you, but it doesn't stop people from trying. Whenever you finish healing another survivor, you both move 5% faster as long as you stay within 12 meters of the survivor you healed, or until one of you loses a health state. That probably explains why in the matches I had they seem to be running together. I don't like that as an idea. The killer's going to have an easier time when the survivors are grouped up like that. And then we have Cut Loose. You get in enough trouble, you know how to get out of it. After performing a rushed vault in a chase, this perk activates. While this perk is active, your rush vaults are silent for up to 6 seconds, and successfully performing a rushed vault during that time resets the timer. This perk goes on cooldown for 45 seconds. So it's sort of a quick and quiet almost, but you can do it many times. The whole thing I wonder about it though is you can only vault a window 3 times and then it's going to get blocked off. So I don't think that's really that great of a perk. I'd say her best one is this friendly competition one. But let me know what you think. So, with that in mind, I hope that you've enjoyed Thalita's story here, and that you'll come back for when I read Renato's story. For now though, if you enjoyed the video, please go ahead and click that like button. If you've not already, please subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon, so that you're aware when I produce new videos in the future. Thank you. I hope to see you all again for the next episode of Dead by Daylight.